Greetings to the whole world. It is time to walk the walk and talk the talk of Java programming. In case you didn't know, it's Luandile here, the leader and the instructor of Manikwe School. And Manikwe School, again, if you didn't know, it's a school that is dedicated to teaching programming by means of problem solving. That is to say, we'll be solving each and every exercise on this textbook here in at least 2 ways. Of course, there are going to be exceptions because you cannot play around with tiny and straightforward questions, but we can play around with those that are a bit challenging because there are actually a lot of pieces you can put together in order to get your final puzzle. Okay, enough with the words. Let's jump on to the question. Today we're actually going to do this question here. It's exercise 3.15, as I mentioned before. Seems like it's an interesting question if you ask me why. It's an interesting exercise. Why? Simply because it has 2 of these stars, right? So that tells you that it's going to be something that is a bit interesting. Okay. Let's continue by reading through the question. So it's a game, it's a lottery game. Gosh, I can't even pronounce that. Anyways, okay. What you gotta do is to revise listing 3.8, a lottery.java program to generate a lottery of a 3-digit number. Okay, the program prompts the user to enter a 3-digit number and determines whether the user wins according to the following rules. Okay, if the user inputs matches the lottery number in the exact order, the award is $10,000. If all digits in the user input match all digits in the lottery number, the award is $3,000. Okay, lastly, if one digit in the user input matches a digit in the lottery number, the award is $1,000. Okay, so I don't think we do need to visit this listing 3.8. Why? I always tell you guys I prefer doing things my way, but it's totally up to you. If you do have this textbook, of which it's something you're supposed to have, you can do it on your own by simply going to listing 3.8 as they said, and then copy and paste the solution. However, I don't recommend you do that. It's better you do things on your own. You start from the scratch. Okay, let's try to create a project, and we will simply call it 3.15, exercise 3.15. This is where we're gonna store our project, and then we hit finish. Okay, you guys, I'm hoping I'm not that annoying with this noise around me. It's just that I've been noticing there's a lot to cover, and if I think I'll only give solutions at night, maybe at midnight more specifically, then I would run out of time soon, because I gave myself a certain period of time to finish up with all these exercises, because right now we still haven't done much. There's a lot to do, so it's better we just keep going as opposed to waiting till midnight, because there are some other challenges with that too. Sometimes I fall asleep, sometimes I get too exhausted trying to working on other projects, so you're gonna have to bear with me with this noise, you guys, but I'm hoping it's not that annoying. Okay, let's continue. I'll call this 15 from student A's perspective, of course. Okay, another thing, in case you're watching this video for the very first time, I always tell people to make sure they have their own copy of this textbook you're using. That way they can attempt these exercises at their own time and then come back to my solution for the sake of comparing. Otherwise it will be a waste of time. You see, if you don't do these problems, I'll be telling you a lot, and there's only one thing that's going to happen, and that is whatever I'll be telling you will go in one ear and out the other. So you don't want to horse around. It's time you just go through this textbook. This is the URL right here. However, you can pick whichever URL you prefer, as long as you're going to have your own copy. You don't want to play around, folks. What you want to do is to have your own copy. That way you're going to attempt these problems and then get back to my solutions with something on hand. Okay, enough with that. Let's continue now. What you want to do before, you see, I'm used to creating a scanner first. Of course we can generate a random number. Since it's gonna be a 3-digit number, what you want to do is to get a random number between 0 and 1000, excluding 1000, of course. So whatever number we'll get, it's gonna be a 3-digit number. Okay, I know there's a possibility that some numbers might have duplicates, but we're gonna take care of that in a sec. Oh, let me start by giving a comment. Generate a lottery number. So again, it has to be a number with 3 digits. So we know that numbers from 100 up to 1000 are 3-digit numbers, right? Okay. In fact, that's what we're supposed to do. We don't wanna generate starting from 1, because in that case, if we generate 1, then we would have to consider that as 001 as opposed to 1 itself. So why don't you just pick numbers from 100 onwards? I'm just asking you folks, why don't you do that? And if you think you do know an answer to that, please let me know down in the comments, because what I'm gonna do, I'll be picking numbers from 0 up to 1000. Okay, I've already created a scanner. What else do I need to do? I will have to prompt the user system.out.print. System.out.print. I'll simply go enter your lottery pick. Again, we're gonna inform our user that it has to be a 3-digit number, 3 digits. Okay, so we're gonna call that guess. So guess is gonna be scanner dot next int. What we then do, we gotta find our first digits. So it's gonna be lottery digit 1. It's gonna be lottery, it's double T of course, not double R, 100. We're basically getting rid of the last two numbers, digits. Okay, so now we need our second digits. That shouldn't have been an F, it has to be a T. Lottery digit 2. Simply do that by saying lottery mode 100. So this will give us the last two digits. Okay, this will give us the last two digits. However, if we decide to get rid of the last digits by dividing by 10, we are gonna be left out with the second digits. I hope this is clear to everyone. Again, let me repeat myself. What is it I did? I said lottery mode 100, and what that does, from that 3-digit number, it will get rid of the first two. It will in fact give us the last two digits. Okay, on that last two digits, what we want to do, we want to get rid of the last digits, so that way this whole thing will give us our second digits. Lastly, it's a bit windy out here, so some of my stuff is getting blown away. Okay, lottery digit 3. So we're basically dealing with our last digit. So that's pretty straightforward. If you ask me, it's nothing else but lottery mode 10. Mode 10. Why am I doing it this way? It's straightforward. It's simple and straightforward. I don't wanna overuse variables, because I could have stored some of maybe this on some variable, or I could have updated my lottery number by dividing by 10 each time I want to get rid of some digits, but I'm not gonna do it like that. Why? The whole point of this tutorial is to do things differently, so that you can know what to do and what's not to do, and furthermore to that, you can know when to do what. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say here, but anyways, let's continue. We gotta get digits from user guess now. Okay, get digits from what the user decided to guess. The idea is the same here. This is what we gotta do, because I'm trying to avoid having two long tutorials, long videos. Let's put guess here instead of lottery. The idea is the same, you folks. I hope that you can understand. Guess digits 1, guess digits 2, guess digits 3. Okay, what else? Let's first start by informing our user what our lottery number is. The lottery number is this here. Okay, perhaps you should go for a print line as opposed to a print statement. Okay, now it's time to check the guess. Okay, what we do is simple. Let's go if guess is equals to lottery, then we know that we have an exact match. System.out.print, we have an exact match. Okay, so you won $10,000. Again, folks, I'm so sorry for any inconvenience. It can be a bit noisy out here. It's just that, as I mentioned, you see, judging from the pace at which I should give these exercises, I cannot stand uploading only during midnight. Right, so I decided to take a risk and record during the day. Okay, else if this is gonna be something huge, so let me do it this way. Else if, I hope people won't get confused though. Else if guess is equal to lottery digits 1. Guess is equals to lottery digits. Else if guess is equals to, let me write this down and I'll explain it a bit later. Digits 1 times 100 plus lottery digits 2 times what? Times 10. We're basically saying here, if the sum of digits from our lottery digits 3, we're basically saying here, if guess is equals to the sum of, if you're saying that guess is equal to the sum of, oh my gosh, as I mentioned, it's a bit windy out here. I mean, if you're saying that guess is equals to this whole thing, or guess is equals to, you know what, this is what we can do. We'll simply have, let's just go 10 people are doing the talking now and they really getting on my head. I hope they don't get onto your head, you folks. So what I want to do is, I want to play around with this. I'm going to put a 3 here and then a 1 here. Lottery digits 1 Why am I getting an error here? Did I miss something? It's literally digits. There's no R there. It's R literally. It's R. I've been messing around. Gosh. So what I'm saying here basically, if guess is equals to if guess is equals to this, or guess is equals to that, and I don't know if people follow this logic here. I'm saying because this is the case where we're actually dealing with numbers that this is the case where we have matching numbers. So basically by doing guess equals to this, we're actually taking care of all different cases, because suppose we have a 1, 2, 3 as our guess, and the lottery is our lottery number, and our guess was 213. This is the case. I mean, this is the part of our program that's gonna execute this one here. If suppose our lottery number was 123 and the user decided to put 321 or 213, this is the part that has to execute, right? Okay, let's continue. We gotta say, you can sit down and try to figure out this algorithm here. The idea, essentially the idea is I'm summing numbers. I'm trying to deal with different permutations of one and the same digit. That's how it is in short terms, right? Okay, so I dealt with the first case, I dealt with the second case too. Now I've got to deal with the third case, and that is we'll be multiplying our second digit by 100, and then multiplying our first digit by 10, and then our last digit, which is 3, we won't be multiplying it. Okay, another case, this is another case. This is another case. This is taking some time now. It's taking more than I thought. However, you saw it yourself, you guys. It's a two-step problem, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Okay, so what you wanna do now, we'll be multiplying our second digits by 10, and then our third digits by I will be multiplying our. I can't even talk right now. We will be multiplying our second digits by 100 and our third digits by 10. And then, of course, you're going to be left out with the first digit. Basically, I've said it before, you guys. I'm dealing with different permutations here of 3 similar digits. Okay. So what I want to do now, I'll simply go 3 multiplied by 10, and I'm going to add that first digit times 1, and then I'll be having my second digit here. Our last case is this one here. I'll be multiplying my first digits, my last digit by my last digits, which is digits 3 by 100, and I will sum that with my first digits with my second digits, times 10, and then lastly my first digits. Again, I'm repeating this in case you are a bit confused. You can sit down with a pen and a paper and try to figure out how can one go about finding different permutations. That's what I'm doing right here. Okay, in that case we'll simply say, because this is all under our if else statement, right? If one of these conditions hold, then we have all three digits. We have a match of all three digits. It's a print. Let's go match all digits. You won $3,000. Why can't I find a dollar sign? I've been typing for quite some time and yet I cannot find a dollar sign. Okay, it's $3,000. Okay, of course might want to put a comma here. Now let's deal with our last case, else. And this is the case where not everything is there for you. This is the case where not all numbers are there. So what is it we do in that case? We want to check how many times does each digit appear on our guess. So I'll simply store that. We'll simply store that on this variable and we'll call it guess digit. It's gonna be a frequency for our first digits. How many times did that digits pop up on our guess? So it's guess digits 1 frequency. See, of course I'm gonna have to initialize that to 0. Again, I'm repeating this, you folks. I'm creating this variable in order to store the number of times the first digit appeared, the second digit appeared, and also the last digits. How many times it appeared on our guess. Okay, lastly, digits. This is gonna be for our third digits frequency. Okay, another thing we've got to do, we need a variable that will tell us whether or not our first digit was found from a user guess. So we're gonna call that first guess digit. First guess digit. Call it first guess digit. So we'll store that on this boolean variable false. Likewise for the other two variables, we're gonna call them second guess. Why can I type digit found? Again, these variables will tell us whether or not a corresponding digit is found on whatever the user decided to give us. Okay, third guess digit found. Initially, of course, you'll say false at first because we haven't checked. However, if we do the check-in and try that, guess digit 1 is equal to literally digits 1. Okay, guess digit 1, if that is equal to literally digit 1, what is it we will do? We'll simply say we'll simply increment our first guess. Our first digits, we'll simply increment our guess digits 1 frequency. Guess. I hope you guys can see now when does properly naming your variables come into play, because if we had something that is less descriptive, we would have had a huge problem when it comes to problems like these ones. Okay, again, what I said is we said we'll be incrementing guess digits frequency, and then we'll say first digits found, first guess digits found. Yeah, that's what we named our variable, first guess digit. Can't even type the word digits. Okay, it's first guess digit found. We'll say true. That's not the only case though. Else if our first guess digits is equals to literally digits 2, again, this is not the best solution. As you know, you guys, I've got 3 solutions on each problem, so in case you think this is way too lame, I totally understand you, because you still got 2 more solutions on this exercise. Okay, it has been a long day and I can no longer type right now. Where was I anyways? Okay, I was doing the second case, and that is when the guess digit 1 is equals to the very second digit on what the user has gave us. Okay, what we do in that case, it's a matter of playing around with these 2 variables. We're no longer going to update first guess digit found. Instead, we'll be updating second guess digit found. Okay, and here we'll be updating the guess digit 2 frequency. One and the same thing applies. I hope everyone can see a pattern here. So that's why I'll simply copy and paste this program, because I don't wanna take too much of your time, you guys. As long as you see the point what's going on here, it's not like you have to copy and paste my thing or memorize whatever I'm trying to tell you here. Oops, what was that? We did this using first digits. Of course, we don't have to do one and the same thing for the other digits too. Why? We only taking care of the case where you've got only 1 digit found on the user guess. I don't know if I'm getting that wrong though, and if I am, feel free to let me know, because we all are learners when it comes to programming. It's an infinite learning process. Okay, what else now? I feel like I messed up somewhere somehow. I don't know why. Oh, I almost made a mistake, you folks. I also need to take care of other cases too. You see, dealing with the first case where your first digit equals to either one of the 3 digits, that's not the only case you gotta take care of. You also gotta take care of the case where second digit happens to be the digits found on the user guess. if you ask me, this problem isn't that complex. It's just that there's a lot of coding involved. You've got tons of lines, but you don't want to get intimidated by many lines of code, because out there, when it comes to real projects, you might have a project with millions, if not trillions, lines of code. So you gotta get used to this. It's a matter of working on it and not losing your logic behind what you're doing, right? Okay, I hope everyone do understand that. So now I'm basically done with this part where I'm dealing with exercise 1, with where I'm dealing with guess 1 being one of the 3 digits. Okay, now let's check guess 2. Okay, now if guess let me try this. If guess digit 2 is equals to, if guess digit 2 is equal to literally digit 1, and there's logic involved here, you folks, and first guess digit is not found. Why am I saying that? It's simply because once we happen to have 2 digits found, we're not taking care of that case. We only concern with the cases where we only have found our digits once. That's the only time our user is gonna earn that 1,000 grand, right? Okay, so, and that's why I had this variable in the first place, first guess digit found. If this is the case, what we'll then do, we'll simply go guess digit 2 frequency. We'll simply increment that, and we update our second. We'll simply update our first digit found variable. Okay, first digit. So basically saying that the first digit that was on the number that was given by a user, or that was generated by our program, is found. Okay, basically whatever the user gave us had this variable, this number that was on the very first place on whatever number our program generated, and that is literally digits. Okay, so first digit, it's first digit. It's not first digit, it's first guess. First guess digit found. First guess digit found. Of course, you gotta go through. See, I would really love to hear, or rather see, what you had on this question, you folks. Why it's one of those programs that are a bit challenging. As you've seen it yourself, we've got 2 stars, and that tells you that it's something that is quite fun to play around with. Okay, so I would really like to hear your opinion. What is it you did? Let me know. Okay, let's get going. Okay, what else we want to do? Oh, now we want to check else if our second digit is equals to literally digit. We can simply copy and paste this. What we want to do, we want to check our guess digit 2 is equals to literally digit 2, and our second guess digit variable is not found. our second guess digit found variable is not there. Okay, is still false. And if that is the case, what we'll simply do, we'll increment this and then update our second guess digit found variable will simply go true. I hope we're still on the same page, and if you think you are a bit lost, let me know down in the comments. I'll try by all means to get back to you. Of course, I cannot reach each and every one of you out there. There's tons of people, but you've got to know that I'll try the best I can. Okay, the idea is the same here, you folks. You simply can copy and paste this for the sake of saving time, because right now this video is getting close to an hour if I'm not mistaken. However, it is worth it, given that you are gonna benefit something out of this. So what we're saying now, we're saying that guess digits 2, that is the second digit on whatever our user decided to give us. We're saying if that digit is equal to the very last digit on the 3-number digit that is generated by a computer on our loaded number, if those two are equal and the third guess digit is not found, and the third digit on our guess variable is not found, if that is the case, we'll simply increment our second digit frequency. We'll increment our frequency on the second digit on our guess number, of course, on the number that the user decided to give us. Okay, what is it we then do? That should be it for this case. Oh, I'm supposed to have that here instead of a second. Bear in mind though, you folks, I cannot stress enough the importance of not copying and pasting your solution. However, I'm doing it anyways. Why? I'm trying to minimize the period it will take for this entire video. But when it's time, when you're actually working on your own thing, try not to copy and paste, because the more you do that, the more you maximize the chances of you getting a logical error on your program. Okay, that should be it when we deal with our second digit. Lastly, what we want to do right now, we want to deal with our third digits, and the logic is the same. That's why I will simply copy and paste everything. Again, I'm trying to avoid having too long videos right now. Okay, oops. It's a bit windy here, I told you guys, and some of my stuff are getting blown away right now. Okay, where were we? I feel like I'm about to make an error right now. However, okay, so if our third digit is equal to, if our third digit on the number given by a user, if that number is equals to the first digit on the number generated by our program, and the first digit guess, and this variable here, the one we named first get digits found, is still false, we'll do this. We increment our guess digits 3 frequency. Basically what we do here, we'll be replacing a 2 with a 3. right? I hope I am getting that right, and if I'm not, again, feel free to let me know, because I've been working on this program for quite some time, and I had a working solution. It's just that it seems like I'm having hard time to give it to you the way it is. But the main factor behind that is the fact that I'm feeling this pressure right now. Why? It has been a long time since we've been working on this program. However, I'm not gonna panic. I'll simply continue. In fact, I should have done one thing and then copy and paste everything. Why do I have these three variables giving me a warning? It's a guess digit 2 frequency, guess digit 2. Oh, it's maybe because I've modified them under the if else statements. But I know if I can decide to display them out of those conditions, definitely I am gonna get a working solution. I mean, that warning is gonna get out of my way. Okay. Oh, did I get that part right? Let's see. What I said is, if guess digit, if guess digit 3 is equals to that, what we wanna do right now is to check whether or not the user has won at all. And this is the part we're working on right now. We'll simply go. I've got a lot here on my desk, so that's why I'm having hard time organizing things. And on top of that, there's this wind blowing. Okay, let's continue riding our horse, folks. Okay, where were we? Okay, right now I've got to determine whether or not the user has won, because the user only wins when there's only one digit found. We don't take care of 2 digits, we're only taking care of 1. Now that we're done with all digits being the same. Okay, what else? I'll simply go guess digit 1 frequency. I'll check if guess digit 1 frequency. I'll check if guess digit 1 frequency, if that is equals to 0, and guess digit 2 frequency, and if guess digit 2 frequency is equals to 0, and guess digit 3 frequency is also equals to 0. This is one of the cases that we care about. That is to say, in this case we'll be having a number. We'll be having only one number found from our lottery number. I don't know if that makes sense. There's only one number found. This is one of the cases where you'll be having one number found on your lottery number. Okay, However, that's not the only case though. That's why I will be saying again, I'm so sorry for any inconvenience, folks. Why people are passing by and little kids are trying little kids are making noise now, and those birds whining. I hope that does not annoy any one of you folks. So what we do now, we can simply say if guess digits 2 is equal to that and the other 2 are zeros, and lastly, if we only have that digits being 1 and the other 2 being zeros, in that case we can say that our user has won 1,000. We can say that system.out.print match one digit, match one digits. Let me go match one digit. Again, folks, there might be, in fact there are other ways of doing things. However, this is how I decided to do things. So you won how many dollars? $1,000. 1, 2, 3. Then we put a period. If this is not the case though, in fact I might want to get rid of this. If this is not the case, this simply checks whether we had only one digit found. If you're not having one digit found, then the user did not win at all. System.out.print. This is the case where we've got maybe two digits found, right? We don't care for that. Sorry, you did not win. Maybe I can put something. You did not win, because probably the user found 2 digits and we're not taking care of that. It's not a challenging question if you ask me. It's just that it was time consuming. However, if you can nail this down, if you can give yourself time and sit down with the pen and the paper, I will understand each and every step I did. Again, let me briefly try to explain what's going on here. These will simply keep these 3 variables will keep the first digit, the second digit, and the third digits for our lorry number. And these 3 will keep the first digits, the second digits, and the third digits on our guess number. Okay, this is the simplest case. That is when the user inputs and our lorry number match exactly. I mean everything in the order too. However, this case here, it is when we've got matches. It's when we have a different permutation of one and the same numbers. I hope everyone is on the same page with me here. And then lastly, this is the part that is a bit complex. These 3 variables will count the number of times each digit is found on the lorry number. We're counting digits from our lorry number. Of course, guess digits 1 correspond to frequency correspond to the number of times our first digits, the our first digit on the number we gave to the program, it counts the number of times that digit appeared on the loaded number. Same thing applies for second digits, third digits, right? So these three variables here will tell us whether or not the digit is found, because we don't want to deal with the digit that is already found, right? We only want to find the digits once. That should be it, you guys. What I will do right now is to try and run my program. This is where we're actually doing the logic, and in case you bit lost, you can rewind this video and try to start over and see where I might have made a mistake, in case I made one, but I doubt it I did. We're only taking care of one digit, we're not taking care of 3 digits. Let's try it out and see. 1, 2, 3. The lottery number is that, so I was only able to find. Oh, again with the noise, there was a huge truck passing by, and I'm so sorry for that. Okay, see you guys, we only had one digit, which is 2, that was found here, so we only won 1,000. Please try to keep running this. I'm not gonna do that because we've already wasted too much time. So see you guys on the next tutorial. In case I made any mistake, feel free to let me know. That should be it for this tutorial. Cheers, you guys. I'm gone.